Good morning. Hello. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hello, Sam. How
Morning.
you going?
Good morning.
How is everyone today?
Lovely, thank you.
Oh,
Very well, very well.
Excellent, thank you. Yeah.
all right. So fantastic. Thank you for coming to Art Club. Welcome, everybody. I hope you've downloaded the PDF booklets that are on the Substack. There's an A5 workbook if you print it out double-sided and then fold it in half to make a workbook. And then there's a little pocket zine that can help you to keep your goals handy so that to keep you focused and on track. So welcome to Art Club. These are 90-minute co-working sessions. Today we're setting some art goals using the workbook and zine that can be downloaded from the Studio Diaries Substack. If you've already filled out the workbook or if you know what your goals are, then by all means feel free to draw or to paint or to just do some collaging, make a mind map or make some sort of visual vision board that we can that's for you. If you want to share at the end of the session, whether that's sharing something that you've painted or drawn throughout the session, or maybe some of your goals that you've written down, or anything, a strategy that's going to help you or help everyone else, then we will have a sharing session at the end as well. We'll talk throughout this whole process as well. I think mostly I will guide through the questions. I don't know how much drawing and painting I'm going to get done today. I might just focus more on asking questions and that sort of thing. So yeah, so usually Art Club is a chance to brainstorm and support each other anyway, and particularly so today. So please note that these sessions are recorded and they will be made public via my Substack and my YouTube channel. We've got a Discord where I've set up a channel, an Art Goals channel, where we can regularly check in and find some accountability buddies and celebrate our wins together. So every Sunday, I'm going to put up a little weekly wins post in the Discord Art Goals channel, and you can put down, what did you achieve this week? Let's celebrate the things that we have done. So sometimes we don't always reach our goals, or sometimes things happen, life surprises us, but there's always something positive that happens. So we're just going to try and focus on those good things because it will help with momentum and help us stay committed to why are we doing this? Why do we want to achieve these goals? Yeah, so thank you for joining us, everyone. I think what I'll do is I will end the show, and before I stop sharing, I will quickly show you the Discord. So here's the channel, the Art Goals channel. It's brand new, and there's a weekly wins post every Sunday. The other thing we will be doing is a monthly celebration of wins on, well, at this stage, I've put the fourth Saturday of the month, just for about half an hour. I'll probably go longer than that as well, as a group accountability thing. And we're just going to do a meetup that's unrecorded in the studio lounge. So just a chance for us to get together, check in, look at our positives, and help us stay focused. So this is the Art Goals channel. If you are a member of if you've joined the Studio Diaries on Substack, there will be, most posts have an invite to the Discord somewhere way down there. You'll see it, and this will take you through to, if I open that, it'll just take you through to the private chat that is only seen by studio members, people who subscribe to the Studio Diaries. So that's where you find the link to the Discord on the Substack, samashleyart.substack.com. So that's that. And here is the Discord. So when you first join, you'll only see a couple of channels until you're made the role of an artist. Okay. All right. I'll stop the share now and let's start our goal setting thing. So yeah. So I've actually started a little title page for mine, and I intend to splash some watercolor around. But my main goal today, so I might even just put this aside for a little minute. My main goal today is to go through this booklet with you. I did print it out and I have filled mine in. And I've actually also, before I did that, this has been a long process for me because I've really had to go. I've started really big and then I've looked at it and I think, this is great. I just don't know how it's going to go. And then I've had to sort of hash it and just review everything and think, well, okay, these on my word processing document, I'm definitely a school teacher. I plan Sam. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
And you'll never have to do it again, Sam. That document will be there forever. So next year, you just pull it out and say, okay, we'll go through the questions again. Like once it's done, it's done. It's good. Yeah.
Definitely thought that about the booklet. I thought, yeah, that'd be good. So I'm calling this particular one my dream goals. And then the ones I've put in my booklet are my possibly more realistic, maybe still some more dream goals, because I actually teach as well at school. So, and I find that after work, after a school teaching day, I'm pretty tired. That's putting it mildly. I don't have any energy left over after a teaching at high school day. So how realistic is this going to be? I don't know. I'm going to try. I've got school holidays where I can sort of do things. So yeah. And that's why there's a lot of things in this booklet that where I've really pre-thought ahead of things, like, some obstacles and strategies that can help me overcome those obstacles. So we're going to go through that sort of stuff today. I think, does anyone have any questions before we get started? So any questions?
Nope.
Has everyone downloaded the workbook or has looked at it or even just thought about it?
You could not get it to
I
print
have,
in
but I
colour.
couldn't do it double-sided, sorry. So
I didn't double
Mine's
side
not
mine
double-sided.
either, Simone. I just printed it off and I've got a comb binder. Hello, ex-school teacher. So I.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
This is just printed, not double-sided. It's just.
Yeah, mine's all just loose. So then I cut it into pieces so I can make it in the right order.
You can bind it, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I printed mine from my home printer and it was very different from how the school printer just prints it out and it's perfect, but my home printer I had to turn it over and flip it and turn it around and until
that's what I couldn't be bothered doing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Too hard.
Trickier. Anyway, I've got my booklet in order and then I've just done a little messy pamphlet bind stitch with some cotton to keep it together. All right, so
that's a good idea.
Okay, so the first thing that we do when you're thinking about your goals for the year is just brainstorm anything and everything. If you could do anything, if you could achieve anything where you don't have anything that's going to get in the way. Money is not an issue, time is not an issue, space is not an issue. You've got support, you've got anything and everything that you're possibly going to need. You've got a team of people if that's, what you need.
That sounds so good.
I know. I just want a gardener, actually. That would be handy.
Yeah.
So brainstorming all of your ideas, your projects, and the possibilities. Does anyone have any ideas or things that they'd like to share about that process? Because I could just talk about some of the things I'm doing, but actually I don't want it all to be about me. I just want to be able to say, while you were doing that process, did you allow yourselves to think really big?
I sort of did.
Realistic.
I started off with, am I talking over anyone else?
No, that's okay. Should I do this? Do I want to go around the circle?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, okay. All right. So how about, so Julie, how about you go first?
Okay. Well, I started the brainstorm by writing illustrated memoir at the top because it's something I've wanted to do for a while. It's quite clear, and I've actually been collecting resources and, as I said, I bought a course on Sketchbook School, and I got more precise about that, which was a printed illustrated memoir. So not just the collected things, the drafts, but a printed one. And then I actually went down and broke down the things I wanted to do, like learning to print photographs with my gel plate so that I can transfer images into the thing, learning to sew freestyle with my sewing machine so I can actually, because I don't know if there are any sewers out there, but when you sew freestyle with a sewing machine, it's like drawing, but you move the paper instead of the pencil. Mm-hmm. And I would like
I've done that with quilting. Yes.
Yeah. So, and that, because I should have said this before, becoming more mixed media is a goal, because I've been a sewer, I write and I paint, and all of those things have been sort of separate. But in this illustrated memoir, I would really like to bring them together, because that is who I am. It does illustrate, it talks about sort of person I am more. So I became more specific about, print with plasticine and a print block, use rubber eraser shapes to do random printing for collage, paint papers to use for collage. So basically that's what, nothing exciting, but I started off with my big idea and then actually broke it down to some things that I can put in my weekly planning or monthly planning, that this week I'm going to do that. And, that's me.
That does sound exciting.
Yeah.
All of that sounds exciting.
That's very, very thought out. That's really good, Jill.
Yeah, it's excellent. So will you check in? Would you like to check in regularly with the Discord just so that we can keep track?
Yeah,
I'd love to see.
Yeah.
I'd love to see how it's going, and I'd love to follow that process with you because it does sound really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And document it. If you could maybe do a little thing on Instagram, Jules, and say,
I probably will, yeah.
Yeah, like where you're up to, and I don't know what your plan for this section or this 6 months, and work your way through and tell us all your struggles, because that's the juicy bit. That's because when you struggle and then you keep at it, then you figure things out, and it's really interesting, and it really is very helpful too. And it's because it's a totally different project to anything else I've come across, so it's very interesting.
Thanks, Simone. I'll see how I go.
Right.
And we all have those similar struggles, don't we? Like we all think that I can't do this. I'm the only one that has this, whatever is going on. Like the dog's sick, I've got to take it to the vet. That's taken the whole day out. I wasn't expecting, or the kids, whatever. We've all got that, or that self-belief. Yeah.
Yes.
Our struggles they may be personal, but really they are universal, aren't they? So sharing our struggles and how we sort of manage them or understand them or accept them or overcome them or change them can help other people too.
For sure. Yeah.
Elise, how did you go with this brainstorming process?
I definitely went more realistic, or not grand in my ideas, simply because I am starting at such a lower level than most people that are in the Discords. I don't do art for work. I don't do art a lot in general. I just kind of got back to it a little over a year ago with the art hang party, and that's kind of been the basics of Speak of the Devil. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm late.
I really only got back into doing art kind of regularly, I'm sorry, 2023.
Wow.
Mid-2023, and just doing the art parties each month. So really where my intentions are this year is more of a learning side. So I really want to swatch all the stuff that I've collected now over the years, and kind of have a better understanding of how they all work together, kind of in that multimedia way that Julie was talking about. I want to know what can layer over what effectively, and so that way I can really do things a little more efficiently and not go, oh, well, that didn't work out. I want to put everything together. And then kind of in my mind on a work basis was just to do simple pieces of things that I love, which is primarily food. I want to do ingredient based stuff. I want to do my favorite meals. Maybe I I don't know why food art appeals to me, and I travel for work pretty often. So I always photograph what I'm eating and the beautiful presentations of them. So I'd love to go oh, this beautiful piece was from Planta in Chicago or similar. So a little more mellow of goals here, but big stretches for me particularly.
Oh, it sounds fantastic, and we would love to travel and eat with you around.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Sounds wonderful.
It does sound wonderful.
Yeah.
It is half of why I travel.
It's a good reason.
It is a great reason. I've just had a thought. Would you guys want to be spotlighted while you're talking, or are we happy just keeping the format as it is?
It's fine either way.
I'm happy with the format.
Yeah, maybe we'll just keep it like this then. Yeah, all right. So welcome, Melissa. We've just going through the brainstorming, and I just asked the question how did people find this process? How and we're just sort of going around the circle type thing to talk about, you know, what are some of our ideas? If we could think big, if there was nothing that could hinder us achieving the goals that our dreams, our dream goals, like what could it be? If there's money wasn't an issue, time, space, all that stuff. Yeah. What would you brainstorm, and how was the process for you if you've done it beforehand? So Simone, are you happy to share now?
Yeah, sure. Yep. I've just in order, but so my big thing is that I've been working on for a couple of years is to try and get my designs licensed on fabric or stationery or bed linen or crockery. I really totally don't care, to be perfectly honest. I just want to have my art out in the world, where people can buy it. Like this sort of little motto I had in my head for years and years is to be able to sell beautiful things. That's what I want to do. And I feel like that hasn't changed over all these years that I've been doing art and painting, and whether I've been sewing or quilting or making things for my kids or decorating a birthday cake, or your garden, like all of that stuff is sort of connected to that. I don't know, there's this weird irrational, well, not irrational, but like this thing, I want to make and sell beautiful things. Yeah. And the selling is actually quite important for me, I've realized over the last couple of years. And for a while, I was sort of like terrified of going to markets and all this stuff. But this last year, I've done 3 markets in a row. And I just thoroughly enjoy the whole talking to people and, hi, how you going? And this is me, and this is what I do. And, I love painting on everything. And, I made a bunch of tea towels with fabric from Spotlight, and I sold 41 tea towels.
Wow.
Which is like out Brussels sprout, like I totally did not expect it to be so successful. And they're all different sorts. Some are from Spotlight, some of my own fabric, my own design, because I bought some of my own fabric. And some are just, a lot of them are Christmas fabric. So I have to say, yes, Spotlight's done a good job with choosing their fabrics because they're very popular. But I thought, well, I made all those tea towels as well. I sewed them all up, and I thought, this is really good. So like last night I've gone and bought myself another 1.5 meters of my own fabric, which is dearer. So like even from Cloth Cuts in Australia, it's going to be $50 something, even with my own a bit of a discount.
Oh, I think she's frozen.
And that'll make 6 tea towels. So I'll have, they're $9, that means they're $9 each just for the fabric. And if I add $10 for my labor, I have to sell them at $20 each. Or 25 would be better. But
that's reasonable.
Yeah. So and if I can make them at half an hour, in about just under half an hour, and that means if I charge $10 for labor, that means I'm only getting $20 an hour, which is, what do you call it, base wage, but like 15 to 16-year-old wage, but anyway, it's a start. And so that's what my sort of big grand plan scheme for the year is also pitching. So getting my portfolio set up nicely, and then basically every time you go to the shop, you pick up something or other and you have a look on the back and see who the person is that makes it, look them up online, find their art director, send them an email. And if they don't answer you, send them another one and say, hi, just letting you know, I've just, updated my portfolio with some new designs I thought you might like to know. And until they say to you, go away, you just keep sending them emails. Basically every month or something or other, and then you got to keep track of their responses and stuff, and eventually, hopefully, you'll crack you'll find the company that matches your style, if you know what I mean. Like, so, my style might not suit surfboards, but it might suit bed linen for kids or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, so until you got to sort of try and find a company that matches your sort of feel, and then
your aesthetic.
Anyway, so that's aesthetic. That's the and then so that's my grand plan. And I probably should learn Illustrator and Photoshop, but I've sort of been trying to avoid that, to be perfectly honest, just because it's that subscription thing where your money you got to pay for it month after month and stuff.
There are alternatives to that. There are alternatives to Photoshop. The Affinity
Affinity
Affinity,
Photo
yes, I
and
have bought
Affinity
that.
something else. So it's like
Yep.
a one-time purchase, really affordable.
Right.
I've like tried it out, but I have Adobe,
Yep.
but I would say
Right.
do anything else aside from Adobe.
Oh, interesting,
Or
because I've been starting to think
yeah,
maybe I should go down that track, but that's interesting to
I
hear
don't
from
think you
you to
need
say
to.
that.
It does the
Right.
exact same thing. It operates in the
Right.
exact same way, but you don't have to pay the continual subscription fee.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the same as Photoshop then.
Yeah.
So,
And Illustrator. They
right.
have an Illustrator version as well. So they have a vector program.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're going to invest
Oh,
time in
that's
learning a program, I would say look
right.
over there.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yay.
Affinity.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Andy.
And also Canva for like low,
Canva.
kind of low function stuff, is
Yes.
fantastic. Like they've got a lot of features and stuff. But if you're like building repeat patterns and stuff, I would say you need like the more professional programs. But if it's like putting
Right.
together kind of mock-ups and kind of flyers or promo materials and stuff like that, Canva is like all you need for that.
Yes. I was thinking that is one of the things I'm going to invest in this year, actually, because the free version is just too clunky. There's just it's too limiting.
I mean, I pay
So,
$16.99 Canadian a month for Canva with all of the free, like all of
yep.
the included stock images and videos and things like that. So like I use it for like social media client work. Don't tell them that. I like that's what I use to put everything together. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, why not?
Yeah.
it's
I love
amazing.
Canva.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely
Yeah.
worth paying for. The paid version of Canva is
Mm.
definitely worth it. Yeah.
Yep.
So you can actually have multiple people. I think you get like 3 people within like a professional account. So I mean, you guys could
Ah, yes.
share an account if
Oh,
you
that's
needed
interesting. So you could
to, like
share an
if you
account
wanted.
somehow.
Good. I
Yeah.
have,
You can
That's an
just add a
interesting idea.
user. Yeah.
I've got the education version, so I'm already in a
Mm.
team with
A bit different.
people. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm lucky, and because I'm a teacher, I have access to all the Adobe products.
Everything. Yeah.
But then it's like,
Mm.
well, they're just making so many cuts to education. Like you just think, well, what are they going to cut next? Are they probably not those things, but you just
True.
don't know. You just really don't know. But anyway, thank you, Simone. Thank you so much for sharing.
No, all good.
I'm looking forward to, it's going
It's
to be,
really interesting, Simone.
yeah.
Mm.
Melissa, would you
Thank
like
you.
to share are you ready to share? Have you looked at this?
Sure. I was just scribbling down some things as Elise and Simone were talking, sparking things. So if it's like pie in the sky, I just want to paint and draw all day, every day. That's what I want to do. And so I'm gonna add
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
nice.
Yeah.
creative
Nice.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
I want more illustration work. So like for my freelance business and stuff, I want to do more illustration work, less social media stuff. So that is like the same
Interesting.
as my plan last year. And I did have more illustration work, so that's good, but I want more clients. So it's like I just want to keep building and building that, which includes like Simone was talking about, reaching out to agencies and kind of pitching myself and stuff like that. So really putting myself out there. I've been working on a picture book like this entire 2024.
Wow.
Kind of like in my downtime, and I'm getting close to being able to put that together. So I'm just cleaning up all the illustrations, and I'll be able to do all the layouts. So I want to finish that and then do something with it. I don't know what. I'm not going to print it because that's expensive, but some sort of digital version of something. I want to do more sewing projects for my shop. So in the fall, I made all of those art tool rolls and everything, put them on my shop, and they sold out, which was crazy. There was like
What did you
15
make?
of them, and
Sorry?
they
What?
like pencil rolls, artist tool rolls.
Oh,
Like
I
a,
missed out
So like
on them.
this is a mini one, but it's like it was kind of like twice the size of that. So
right.
I made want to do more stuff like that.
beautiful.
And then
I could make something like that with
continued-
my fabric. Ooh.
yeah. Yeah.
So I'm looking for a project. I'm looking for something that I can sew, which is small, but uses my own fabric that I've
Yeah, it would be
designed.
great.
But I can basically. So something that's quick and easy to make.
Yeah, if you use
that I can
if you
sell
use
for
it
a
for like
large
the
amount.
background, yeah,
Yep.
your custom fabric on the background, right, and then just some complementary ones on the inside.
inside.
That would look really cool. Yeah,
I could see some
dear.
art and party fabric on those, Melissa.
That's a
Maybe.
great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll send you
I'll
so
do
I
your
can send you
design for you. I'll do a design for you. But you probably know how to do it
yeah.
anyway, the repeat patterns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Boku, Bookhou is where I got the patterns for those.
Okay.
So she sells the patterns for like $12 or something like that. And then BOOKHOU.
BOOKHOU. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then my last thing on my list so far is to just continue to slow and steadily grow Art Hang Party.
Yeah. That was so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And very generous, Melissa, too. Your art hang party is amazing. I often do them afterwards because at the time, I don't know, I just can't get it together. But yeah, it's great.
Well, it's pretty early morning for you, I think.
In summer, it's 11 a.m. and in winter it's 9 a.m. So, yeah.
But also on a Friday,
Yes.
so like work and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Tiffany, did you want to share or just happy to listen in the background maybe? Yeah, maybe. Just raise your hand if you wanted to share, Tiffany. I'm still trying to figure out. I know, Julie, you've still got your hand. I don't know how the hand thing really actually works. Oh, okay, there's the chat. Now I'd have just get the chat up and have a quick look. There we go. Oh yeah, perfect. Just listening. That's lovely. All right. I always forget about chat in Zoom. Okay, all right. So my brainstorming process took me on this massive adventure. And I've gone really, really in depth actually. I'm a high school teacher now, but I've started initially as a primary school teacher. And with primary school teaching, you've got 50 million subjects that you've just got to plan well ahead of a time. And so I've always spent a lot of time really nutting out, well, first of all, what's the whole year look like? What does each term look like? Or in this case, what do the months look like? What do the weeks look like? What do the days look like? What do the lessons look like? That's school. And so I've kind of taken that type of planning to think about, well, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And I brainstormed everything, and I've actually done it twice. So I started by typing, and I've done it on a word processing document, everything that I wanted to do, and I put it into categories like learn, teach, film, make, build, connect, and an artist residence, but that might have to be next year. Quite a few of those things probably will be. And so then I've gone, well, this is a lot. What do I really, really want to do? And I do want to learn. So I've still got learn, film, make, build, connect. So yeah, learning Adobe, the Premiere, the film editing. I want to learn how to do that, and the sound Audition. I think it's called Audition. I want to film my art process. The main thing I also want to do is paint and draw a lot, and film that art process and get better at. Like I've never really made a vlog as such. Like I'd like to make a vlog and do voice.
Yeah.
I really want to use all of my own reference photos for everything that I do this year, like everything. So I have got quite a lot that I can use already. I've chosen a theme for the year, and that's land and sea, because I just think I want to produce a body of work based on the landscape and coastal subject matter that can be used. It can be multi-purpose. So I want to have an exhibition. That's my main sort of thing. But also maybe I want to make cards and things like that. So yeah, so paintings on canvas, paintings in sketchbooks, the filming, the process of it. And the other two things that are is to build, to basically have art friends. So make art with people. And that's like art hang party every week. And then connecting with other artists through YouTube, Substack, Zoom, and Discord, and getting creative together, and also just being supportive of each other, really. Just knowing that there's other people like you just makes the world better, doesn't it? It just helps. It really helps. So yeah. So I've gone really big, and then I've had to kind of go, well, I don't know if I'm going to realistically be able to do all of these things I want to do, because I teach, and that sort of, I'm just going to see how tired I am after that. Yeah, so that's the brainstorming process. So let's move on to the next area. Let's just maybe we'll go through this a bit more quickly because otherwise we're going to be here for a really long time. Does anyone have any questions before we move on?
Yep.
Okay, so maybe we go in the same order, maybe that might make it easier. So what's your main goal and what's your why? Let's do two things at once. What's your main goal for this year? And why do you want to achieve that goal? So, Julie?
Okay, this is a bit minor, a bit vague. My main goal is working towards an authentic piece of work that I feel connected to and proud of.
Nice.
Because, and that relates back to what I was saying earlier about trusting my intuition when I draw, and my imagination rather than needing. I really love outdoor sketching. I love guided sketching, like art hang party, where you actually haven't got time to think. I love that. I love that, removing the thinking from the process. So you just practice. You're building a skill set, basically, aren't you? I love doing that. But related to the illustrated memoir I want to make, I want to feel that I can trust myself about that. So that's the big picture. And my why is because I want to have a creative life. Making something my own is tremendously important to me. And like Melissa wants to draw and paint and sew every day, I want to write and paint or create something continuous in my life. I want that to be the continuous foundation of my daily life. Yeah. So that's pretty big, not very specific, but I will work towards the more specific.
That's okay. I think that's, yeah. Yeah, I think also this booklet, it's a work in progress, isn't it? It's like a working document. You're going to keep coming back to it. Things are going to change. Your goals can shift a bit. I mean, ideally, we want to be really committed and stick to them, but they might change for so many different reasons. They might get bigger. You might achieve more than what, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Elise, what's your main goal and your why? Why do you want to achieve that goal?
My main goal was being able to use the different types of mediums together super efficiently, kind of going back to that study of them, because I really do want to be able to start doing better studies and art. And I feel like if I have a good understanding of how those mediums work together, I can be a lot more creative kind of in the way that I want to be. I am more realistic, but I want to still have fun with it. And I feel like by mixing what I have, I can do that.
Yep. Yeah. Excellent. Simone, what's your main goal and why do you want to achieve it?
Main goal would be to understand licensing contracts, to be honest, and to get a hold of a decent copy of a good licensing contract. So that, like, for instance, yesterday I was talking to this lady who sews kids' dresses on Instagram, just to, someone who just came across randomly and said, would you be, because she uses nice fabric, would you be interested in using my fabric? I'm pitching, and she said, that's interesting. What sort of contracts, licensing contracts, agreements, do you normally use, or would you, or costs? And I'm thinking, totally not a clue. I want to do the thing, but I need now, my next step is going to be to need those extra pieces, which is the contracts. How does that work? Do I need to go and see a lawyer? Can other artists who are already a bit further on the track help me out with that? I'm in a what do you call it, a membership, a surface pattern design membership. So I've sent them a message to say, what do you think? And because sometimes Mel, the lady who runs it, has templates that you can use, and then you can tweak depending on your own specific circumstances. But basically, step one, you ask and then you negotiate. Well, this is where I'm up to. So I would love by the end of the year to have, I don't know, 3 or 4 licensing deals. So I don't know if that's doable. Who knows? I know it's a long, slow thing. And also to increase the number of designs. So on Spoonflower and Cloth Cuts, I've got 200 designs up there on each one now. I want to bump that up to say 300 by the end of the year. And so That's my main thing. And I love the thing what you said about to have a creative life, Julie, or was it um
I think it was
that
all of
you
it.
like the rest of your life sort of revolves around your art sort of thing, it's the main thing in the middle sort of thing, and everything else sort of works in around and with it and whatever. And that's a really good, I love that idea. Yeah.
Thank you. Melissa,
No worries.
your main goal and what's your deeper why?
I put down two because one is like daytime, one is nighttime. So growing illustration, and that's for like increased income, and also like more kind of joy during my day, but mostly money. Let's be real. Money is good. And then also growing art hang party, and that's just for community. So
Yeah.
those are the two big whys and the two big things.
Yeah, beautiful.
Interesting.
Yeah, I sort of have true. My main goal really though is to produce a body of work leading up to an exhibition and to share my process. My sub goal is to make art friends, but my deeper why is to improve my painting and drawing skills, and the other one is to make art friends and for fun because I love it. It just makes me happy. That's my
This is the happy place. This is the thing we do that makes us happy, and the more people we can do it with, the happiness increases.
Yeah, totally.
That's right.
Totally agree. I know when I'm not
It
making
does.
art, if I'm too busy at work or if I let work kind of rule my life, I just, as much as I enjoy my job most of the time, there's part of me that's really sad, always really sad when I'm not being creative. So who do we need to become? Let's just race through this fairly quickly. Who do you need to become to be able to achieve these goals, to achieve your main goal? Julie?
Good question. I actually stumbled on this one a bit because I have had a lifelong issue. People say, what are your dreams? And I would say, well, I don't know. I've kind of just ricocheted from one thing to another in a way. I mean, my life's obviously been sort of shaped by various forces, but and perhaps who do I need to become is authentically myself. Like, well, who am I in this? Because I've been looking after people all of my life. I was raised into a family with a lot of children, looked after people. I married quite young, more than once, not all at the same time, but I feel like I have, and that's not been a bad thing. It's been a choice. It's been great, but I have looked after others and mediated my life through their needs and what have you all of my life. And who do I need to become now? I've got the freedom to be whoever it is I authentically am. And I suppose that's who I need to not find myself, but trust myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it can be a really big step for people, isn't it? When their family has grown up and they retire, it's like it can be very challenging.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
It is exciting. Yeah. I feel fortunate to have the freedom and kind of the life that I can actually do that. Yeah.
You've worked for it. You've worked very hard for that too.
True. That's right.
Elise?
Yeah.
Elise, who do you need to become? Someone who
has better time management skills or is willing to block their time in different ways. And I mentioned that a lot of my goals were involved like life goals as well. And so like part of my more and less that I was doing was like, okay, I love TikTok, but I want to spend less time on TikTok, even though it entertains me to no end because it knows I want cats and crafts and comedy. Like spending that time, okay, if I want to be sitting on the couch, maybe draw with the iPad instead as an easy swap. So like taking the time maybe in the morning or the evening, like I said, almost pretty much every day I'd like to aim for. Very luckily, I have a partner who he's okay with me just going, I'm doing the art club, I'm doing these other things. And he goes, okay, call me when you're done. I'll see you later. But taking more time, which I do feel bad about. I do feel bad going, sorry, but I do want to take at least the aim is probably 30 minutes a day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for me, when I get home at 6:30 and I usually go to bed by 9:30 to 10,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a chunk. So committing at least just half an hour and blocking that time out is kind of who I need to be to just keep putting pen to paper or just using, materials without abandon just to get stuff down and keep it going.
Can you find a specific time every day? Or like one thing that really helped me is after dinner, Ray starts doing the dishes, and then that's when I get my sketchbook out. Right. So it's like I cook dinner and then so I cook dinner and then we eat and then he does the dishes and then I start doing my art and stuff. So like something that you can like kind of, what do they call it? Like habit stacking or something like that, right? So something that you do every day, and then like after you do that, then
else.
Then
my hope
right?
was like the half hour before bed, because it's like the get off the phone, get off the everything, no TV. It's kind of that quiet time to help your brain shut down. But that also worries me, because if I'm very tired, then maybe I'll just go, skip it and go to bed. So either that or maybe first thing in the morning, once the cats are fed, go to this as a nice way to wake up and start the day.
True.
What
We'll
time
see
do
how
you
ambitious
start
I am in the morning.
work? Yeah.
I start at 8:30. Well, I leave at 8:30.
Okay.
I have
So Shar does her monthly or her morning sessions live on Zoom, or not Zoom, live on YouTube at 7 a.m. So you can like plan to have like that time, even though she's doing something else. It's just like, it's a nice time to be like, okay, well, I'm here with somebody else being creative.
Put this
so maybe I'll
on.
be creative at that time. Right. So kind of see if that helps. Now it's 3 days a week, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
Might be a good place to start, 3 days a week. Yeah.
Simone, who do you need to become?
I guess I was going to say someone who's confident to pitch. I mean, I feel like I've gotten a bit more confident over this year, but and bit more knowledgeable about what I'm trying to do. And I need to be a bit better with the time management thing too. Like, in fact, very much better. I'm always finding everything's a last minute rush, even if I'm, I get up early and all the rest of it, but it's a bit of a rush at the end. And planning things out is definitely, because like last year when I was doing the markets, I was like, okay, I'm sewing tea towels and I'm painting vases and I'm lacquering this and I'm making the Christmas decoration. Well, of course I didn't do any drawing much because I was focusing on creating physical things. So I need a bit more of a balance between, and how to figure out how that's going to work out between creating the actual things that I'm going to sell, because if I'm going to turn up at a market, I'm going to have something to sell, but also to continue on with my designs in the background as well. So, and then of course you've got to fit in, or you've got to post about it, and you've got to take a video about it, and you've got to maybe write a blog about it, and then all of those things have got to fit in around it as well. So to try and double up on things. Yeah, so that if I'm making the thing, I'm taking the photo, that's what the post's about, that's what the blog's about. Like, it's all connected. So it's all just one thing really, but just different aspects of it.
Formats,
if I write the blog about making the things, and then that's what the posts are about, and that's what my newsletter's about, and whatever. So yeah,
that's definitely the wise way to do it. It's just that extra, it just doubles the time, doesn't it? All that extra, having to take photos, edit the photos, do the video, all that, write things, that
keep track of where you're up to.
Yeah, I struggle with that. Anyway, thank you.
But I mean, I tell you what, writing, I've been doing a diary for the last couple of years, and it's just a $12 diary from Kmart. But it has been so good saying, right, okay, today I sent a pitching email. Today I wrote a post, I did a reel, I did a this or whatever, having it all written down. And then you can flick back and think, you feel like you haven't gotten very far, but actually if you added up how many posts you sent this year and how many reels you did and how many whatevers you did, you think, far out, that's pretty darn good, good on me, and I think if you could look back and see all what you actually have, add it all up, do a little spreadsheet and write them all down, whatever, it'd be very interesting. And it's a very positive little task to set yourself.
Very true.
That's what I'm
Mm.
hoping that the Discord can help us to keep track of, or even like I'd probably keep track of my own, maybe a blog post first and then put my weekly wins in the Discord so that, yeah, it is really important to look back when you, especially on those days you just think, I haven't done anything, like I'm not good at this, or, you know, I can't do this or whatever. And you look back on those things and it's like, oh, yes, I can. If I can do that, yes, I can.
Yeah.
It's really
But I
helpful.
did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Mm.
Thanks, Simone. Melissa, who do
All
you
good.
become? Who do you need to become to achieve your goal?
Someone who puts themselves out there, has confidence, and asks for what they want.
Ah,
Mm.
nice. Yeah, that asking. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. I've put, I need to become a bit more focused and organized, and plan things a little bit, and also become more visible because I'm great at planning and making and doing at home, but not that great at sharing or being out there. I have a tendency to sort of hide away and just withdraw into myself and still be creative. I'm still making things. I'm just not sharing what I'm making. And I need to become more visible. Yeah. I also need to be healthy physically, mentally, spiritually, the whole
Interesting.
thing. Yeah, I need to really focus on nutrition and strength, movement, nutrition and movement mostly, because the more the fitter and the healthier I am, the more creative I feel and the more capacity I have to be creative. It's really important to be healthy. So that's I need to become focused on my fitness and health as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So the next ones, I think, I'm just aware of the time. This is taking a long time. There's quite a lot of things that we may skip talking about some, or we may just go through it really quickly. Or if anyone's got any questions, the next section is flip and reverse. I've made quite a mess of my book here. That's where you work backwards. So you've got your main goal, and then you break the goal into parts. So what needs to be done in order for the goal to become a reality? Think about what is your main goal, and then think about your quarterly quests. So I call them quarterly quests. It's really like each quarter. So every 3 months, what needs to be done at the end of quarter one, quarter two. So if you're breaking it up into either the financial year or, well, it's not really the financial year if we're starting at the beginning. I don't know what other countries are like. I'm assuming it's the same. It could be totally different. Anyway, I have no idea about that. So anyway, so break it into quarters. So just say from January to December, you've got the first 3 months, then up to June, then the next three, and then the last three. Think about what do you want to achieve at the end of quarter one? And yeah, so rather than maybe going around the circle, have you guys thought about this in great depth?
No, unfortunately. I
That's
feel like I'm still more in that brainstorming, and then I skip kind
yeah,
of to the next pages with like strategies of discipline and stuff. So that way, once it's more fleshed out, then I could create that plan a little better for
yeah.
myself.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So maybe we won't. I'll quickly go over a few things. I think for me, being the school teacher and having that, like I really spent a couple of days on this, so solid days of sitting down and planning and thinking, what do I really want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to have done at the end of the year? And so how many paintings do I have to make a month? Or how many paintings do I have to make a week? Or
Yeah.
how's that going to fit in? What days am I going to be able to? If I'm teaching on these 3 to 4 days a week, then I've only really got Friday, which is art hang, and then Friday afternoon. It's like, and then, yeah, so do I fit the Zooms in as well? Are they going to fit? Or maybe, so my dilemma is I would love to be able to do 2 Zooms a month for the whole year. I've got everything pretty much, even what I want to do for each of them based on my theme for the year, land and sea. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because I don't know
Yeah.
how it's going to be with teaching. So then I've gone to my next, like my backup sort of plan, yearly plan, and that's to just do 2 Zooms in the holidays, the school holiday time for me, which could be seasonal, summer holidays, autumn, winter, and spring. If I just did the 2 Zooms then, like I've even chosen what I want to do for Art Club and for Open Studio. I haven't organised them. I've just gone, right, this is the title. This is what we could do. Yeah, so
That's still quite a lot. That's still quite a lot, Sam, if you think,
Yeah.
Christmas holidays, what, Easter holidays, mid-year holidays, September holidays, if you did two, that's still 8 a year, which is still a lot.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't feel like you're letting yourself down if you have to go back to that. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's still heaps,
Yeah.
really, because I know how much work there is involved in the background and all the, all the stuff that goes with it. I mean, just creating this booklet by itself and thinking about what the questions are going to be, man, that must take you ages. So, it's fantastic. But make sure you recycle it too, so that when we do this one in January next year,
Yeah.
your work is done and we think about the same questions, but we'll have different answers. So it's invaluable, Sam. So I would not feel that it's disappointing to have to go back to 2080. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I love the connection. But then I thought about this and I thought, I had such a great time yesterday at Aheng. I felt like I already have that connection. Like it's there, or it's already there. And it's okay if I don't do a
and
Zoom.
you can dip in and out of that. You can dip in and out of that anytime. And
Well, sometimes I have to teach on a Friday anyway, so I won't be able to come every Friday. But so I still haven't. I would love to do the like 2 a month. I really would love to. I may start like that, but then I think, well, I don't know if I want to start like that, if then I'm going to have to change and just say, sorry guys, I'm only doing 2 every school holidays. Maybe if I started just with the 2 every school holidays, and then the rest of the time I can concentrate on, like, probably makes more sense, to be honest. I'm such an over planner.
Do you need to put it out there with like, I'm gonna do like this number, or can you just like when it feels right and you know that you have the time coming up and say, hey, let's do a Zoom, right? Like just kind of play it by ear. We're gonna be there. So
it's a good idea.
Yeah, I did.
And then you're not putting any like undue pressure on yourself to do it.
That's
But
right.
you know that when time allows, then you can do it.
Yeah, that does sound smart and sensible. Yeah, because I think
And if it happens that it's only on the holidays, then it's only on the holidays.
yeah. I still want to maintain the painting. So I suppose in a way that's part of my secondary goal, is the Zooms is part of making art friends. But yeah, I don't need to do the Zooms. I can just come to Art Hang Party to make friends. Not regularly anyway. I like doing the Zooms. Yeah, I forget what I was going to say.
Like you mentioned
I do
too,
think
even just the
your
casual
sessions are special. So
thank you. Building a body of work, that's something I really do want to do, is to paint, and to get, like you, Elise, I want to do 30 minutes a day every day. The mornings are for my exercise and walking cedar and doing all that stuff before work. And then I come home from work and it's just, I am tired. I don't want to do anything. I'm tired. Even that 30 minutes or even 20 minutes of drawing, I just have to build that habit, I think, is to, and find that time that's going to really work.
Also, I reckon to support yourself, you need to be realistic about like building a body of work. What is that going to be? Is it going to be 20 pieces or is it going to be 10? Because I've done this a few times. And if you want 10 pieces of work, that is a lot of work. And half an hour of sketching a day is really critical to your art practice.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily going to produce those 10 pieces of work. You have to build in time to
focus on that body.
Decide on the size of work, the colour palette you're going to use, which you're very good at that sort of thing anyway. I mean, you've got a huge skill set to start off with and you've done a lot of painting. But an actual body of work that you can show, which needs to be actually contemporaneous with you applying for the show. It can't be work from 10 years ago. It's, those kind of things are, it's a big process, and being realistic with yourself about what that is going to take and giving yourself time, I think is a big thing.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. That's actually helped me make that decision a bit, I think. Because I've literally.
How do you feel? How do you feel when you create? Right? If you get like just how do you feel? Like how does it make you feel when you're actually doing it and then when you're finished?
alive, connected with the universe. It's like you process all the, you process all the stuff. It's like morning pages walk, but even like 100 times better. I feel happy most of the time. Sometimes it's frustrating because I can't achieve what I want to, but mostly I don't want to stop. Once I start, it's like, oh, I love this. Like that's in some ways I can't paint at night because I'll just keep painting all night and I need to get up and go to work
Yes.
today.
Mm.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So maybe morning would be better for you, Sam, too, even if you could fit it in, because you've got an absolute definite deadline. You've got to be out of the house by, whatever time to get to school.
I know.
So if you,
I have to work on
yeah,
training. I've got to I've got to look after my health first. Like that's
you
not.
can't squeeze them both in. Squeeze
No,
them both in.
I don't think so. Like
No.
I do get up pretty early. Like I leave for work at 10 to 8.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I get up pretty early, like 4:30, 5 o'clock usually. Sometimes
Wow.
5:30 or 6. Like I don't have an alarm clock. The birds or Cedar will wake me up. But yes, I'm usually up pretty early. It's enough to take Cedar, and Cedar's getting really old, and she walks really slowly, but she needs that time. She really needs that time in the morning too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I need to do my strength training, and then it's pretty much time to go to work. So I don't really have
Yeah,
time to.
fair enough.
You need
So I
time
was just
just
thinking,
to be alone with yourself too, don't you? Like to have a cool drink or a hot drink and just get your mind in order, because I mean, when you go to work, you're in people's faces all day and they're in your face all day. As you say, you get home exhausted. And actually, I completely sympathise, understand how hard it is to fit in. And Melissa, with you too, with wanting to get more illustration work, these are goals that take a lot of time and mental energy, don't they? Yeah.
yeah.
And you, Simone, I mean, you're the same, you want business kind of stuff. Yeah. It's big. But they're great goals.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. But when you break them down into and do smaller steps, then
Yeah.
even I was listening. Was it not Stacey Bloomfield? It was what's her name? Kat. I think it's Kat Cokeley, whatever her name is. She's a surface pattern designer, and she has these lovely emails, newsletters that she sends out. And one of her stories was that she had this goal and whatever, but she got so wound up in how big this goal was and how scary it was that she basically did nothing for 6 months. And at the end of the 6 months, she was like, I've done nothing. So then she had this thing where she just one thing a day. So now she just watched one little video, or just did one little drawing, or sent one email, or whatever it was. And that way, you are making progress, even if it's slow progress. And by the end of the month, you've done 30 things, and that you actually are substantially further down the track. So, although, yes, we are aiming for the stars, big goals, little bit by little bit, each little step we take makes it easier to make the next step, almost, if you know what I mean. Like, the 10 steps down the road seem really hard, like having four paintings, but if we've broken it down and tackled little bit by little bit, so yeah, so
yeah, small increments lead.
So it's doable.
I know what you're
It's
saying.
doable.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look. What's the next one? So they've got the flip and reverse, where we're looking at the quarter, what we wanted to achieve in the quarters, each quarter, and then looking at things each month. Maybe we'll just skip through this quickly. This is something that you can kind of fill in or come back to or change anytime. It just gives you an idea to think about how can you do it? What would you like to be able to do? And then
I think it's a great format. I just needed more time to kind of work on those things. Yeah.
Definitely took me a long time beforehand. The weekly tasks. So, what things do you need to do each week to be able to do it? So what is important? So, the posting to social media, or doing the journaling, or connecting with particular groups or people, file transfer backups. If you, just make sure you have things backed up.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Does anyone have, I might just yeah, does anyone have anything that's really important to put into their weekly tasks that they need to do? Or you'd like,
I had taken kind of one of your things, which was kind of getting out in nature and taking the walks. And it's not something that's super easily accessible here, but you know, with a short drive I can. So renting from the library the state park pass. So you get like free parking and stuff. And then on the weekends is kind of like my to do of going out in nature and getting that exercise time, the outside time, and then bringing a book to, you know, then draw a little bit as well.
sounds beautiful, Elise. It sounds
Less goal oriented, but more for me.
Yeah.
I think that walking in nature, though, honestly, it's the best way to think creatively. I get my best creative ideas when I'm just walking in nature. There's no one around. I don't have to worry about cars. I'm always looking out for snakes. That's not so great, but yeah, just it's really important, like just as much as exercise, but in a different way. Yeah.
I find, because I live out of town, so when I'm driving out of town, it's it's like you can feel your tensions and things slipping away, because it's like there's like even just roadsides and things, a bit like people I feel like it's like people shouting at you, you know, like all the signs and the traffic lights and the boop and blah blah blah, you know, advertising at you, shouting at you. It's like, and as you get further away, it's like you left that behind. And I think going for a walk, like you say, is a bit like that, you know. You can, they're like pressures on you or something which you can just let go and then just be yourself again, sort of. So
Yeah.
I feel I'm very blessed sitting here looking out at my window at the hills and the trees, and I can't hear cars because there's no cars going up and down the road. And yeah, because I live on a little farm about half an hour out of town, so it's I'm very grateful. It's beautiful.
Fantastic.
But I never go out for a walk out in my paddock, though. I always sit in here and look out, but I never go. So I'm going to write that down on my thing for once a week at least. I've got to get out there and sit on a rock and you know.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Take a book.
In particular that they need to do each week that they want to share? Okay,
I have my weekly tasks and stuff that I do for like thinking about my goal number 2 art hang party. So I think it's just a continuation of all of the recurring things that I have there, which I have set up in Asana. So I use the Asana program for like project tracking and stuff.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and just have the things that I need to do every week come up, and I put them on the day that I want to do them, and it's all good. But for the illustration stuff, I need to think about a plan. So I can't, I'm not there yet. So need to break it down.
Yeah. Well, keep us informed, like updated on how you do that. That'd be interesting. Celebrating milestones. So if you think about those things that you want to achieve, I mean, maybe we can come back to this, but just think about things that you can reward yourself with when you've achieved something, like a milestone, like something that you wanted to achieve by the end of the month or by the end of the quarter or by the end of the year even. What are some things that you can do that's a reward for you? Like, it doesn't matter what other people think about it. It's like something that you feel good about yourself. So I've got long walk in nature is one of my things because I just love being there. And other things that I've set up is the monthly celebration in the Discord where we meet and we just talk about our wins, what we've achieved. So that's a celebration. That's like celebrating a milestone at the end of every month. Even if we've only sketched one time for 20 minutes, let's celebrate that. Like really
definitely.
I think that helps to gain momentum too, doesn't it? Is when you're celebrating those small things. It's like, oh yeah, I can do it. All right, that felt so good. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do some more of that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Has anybody got any other ways that they like to celebrate important milestones, special things? Coffee.
I think an
I remember
art date
I bought myself an ice cream.
would be fun. Oh, that's cute.
Sorry.
Yeah,
that's always good.
Food rewards, or definitely art dates are good, aren't they? Even if online or in person.
Even just going to a cafe by myself with a sketchbook and having a coffee I think.
Oh,
Big one.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
that's a
Yeah,
great
that's a
thing
good
to
one.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done that
Mm.
in a coffee shop.
Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice.
There's a gluten-free
Mm.
coffee shop in Bega I haven't been to yet, so I might do that. Then I
That's a great idea.
can. What else is there?
I would say buying art supplies, but I have got so many art supplies. I need to use them, not
Yeah, yeah,
not buy any more.
yeah, yeah.
I actually follow a few people who remind me. I find like you can set your goals. I can set my goals, speaking for myself, and have things I want to do, and then life kind of takes over. I've got three little grandchildren here in Canberra, and just a partner and kind of the house and all the normal stuff, and I can kind of forget. But I follow some people online like Kirsche Kerner. I don't know if anyone knows her, the Dutch draw everyday person, and she
Yeah.
How do you
sketches
spell
a
it?
lot in cafes, and I absolutely love her aesthetic. That's not going to be my practice, but it reminds me to go out and do those things, So I always have a little sketchbook and a pen and a couple of watercolors or something, and it reminds me to go out and do that, because it is a great practice, and it's a bit like Art Hang Party. One of the things I loved about that and loved about doing that kind of practice is that it removes the thinking process for me. And the funny thing about drawing in public for me is that I tend to talk my way through it. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and now I'm going to do this. So, you probably look like a bit of a nutcase, but it removes it removes the worrying about the materials and the objects, which is great. It just becomes an intuitive. You're just doing the drawing, moving quickly. I really love that. It's really good for your creative brain. It's like, exercising regularly to build a muscle. It builds your creative muscle. So for me, following people, a new guy for me is Drew Scapes on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Terrific cartoonist. And
He's so
I
good.
have been doing his 6-panel kind of thing where, one thing I ate, one thing I felt, one simple guidelines that help me to remember, to trigger memories of, hey, yeah, let's do this thing, because as I say, you get busy, your life, and suddenly it's the end of the day and you think, well, what have I done now? Yeah. So actually following other makers for me is a really good trigger to remind me to do these things. Yeah.
That sort of comes into our next thing with the discipline triggers, or the like habit stacking and things like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. True.
Let's
I put links to Kuja and Drew's YouTube channels in the chat.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
So discipline triggers list relevant strategies to help you with your discipline. For example, habit stacking, assigning time for focus work, or time blocking. So, yeah. So we've actually talked about a few of those things already, in a sense, this time. There's other things that I've got, like I've got a particular apron that I put on, and that's always my art apron. I kind of need a new one. It's pretty old. Or things like after yoga on a Sundays when I write in my journal.
Maybe Simone can make you an apron with her fabric.
Oh,
I was thinking that did cross my mind.
I've got a particular style that I want.
We'll have to talk about it.
Yeah. After yeah, I was thinking like, so on Fridays is when I can come on a Friday, there's art hang party, and then after that, then I paint for myself because I'm already, you're already in the mood for painting.
Flow.
Loosened up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of my habit stacking. I've also put
Yes,
down I'm drafting a little timetable for myself, which is great in reality, but I mean on paper, like you can't see anything, but yeah, just like what happens on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've got my teaching days in there, and then what can I, everything about life, like what you were talking about before, Elise, like when I teach I'm going to try and do my grocery shopping on that day so I don't have to go into town twice, and just trying to minimize the time or maximize the time I have at home for being in the studio, and all the other things. So just trying to fit the things that the tasks, like, you know, the garden's got to be done and this has got to be done. Put all those in. When is left over for the art things and the editing and all that other stuff. So I'm in the process of putting a draft timetable together. Does anybody else do that? And do you stick to it? Like, how do you?
Well,
I think
I hate to interrupt real quick, but I do have to leave early. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
But this was delightful, and I'm going to finish off the rest of it and post it onto the Discord.
That'd be lovely. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Nice to see you, Elise.
Have a
Lovely to
lovely
meet you,
day,
Elise.
everyone in Australia,
Bye.
and have a lovely evening, Melissa.
thank you.
Bye. Thank
See
you,
you later.
Sam.
Yeah,
Thank
Bye.
you. See you next
Bye.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. This is taking a
One
film.
thing,
Okay.
yeah, one thing that keeps me really like on track is my weekly Substack post. So the way that I do it is I have it like broken down by day, and then I feel really bad if I don't have any art to post for that day, right? So at least like even it gets me to do like a little bit of
Interesting.
something,
Yeah.
right? Even if like my day's
So
been
you-
crazy, I'll pull out a sketchbook and just, you know, draw a person or something.
Yeah.
So you do a Substack post every week. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's the basis of your
Yeah.
habits, and everything sort of flows from that, does it? Right. That's an
Yeah,
interesting thought. Yeah. Okay.
It's how I've kept up with my daily self-portraits, because if I don't have a self-portrait to put under that day, then I'm like, oh, I got to do like, now I need to catch up on 3 self-portraits that I've missed, right, for the last 3 days or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and it accumulates.
But
Yeah.
it's no, like, I'll tell you, without that, I would not have filled like that much of my book, you know, like that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Wow.
I think it's the
That's good.
accountability
Yeah.
of
Yes.
like just kind of having that structure to fill in. And then I fill that in every morning, like while I have coffee. So then I fill it in with what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
But that keeps me, I think that is a big thing keeping me creating.
Yeah. 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 Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do that too, but I'm going to do a monthly Substack post so that maybe not every day, but every week I'm going to add to it, because I don't think I could do a week at this stage.
Hmm.
So good.
And I
Because
have
it's
a
a bit like a
template
journal too,
too.
I guess, isn't it? It's a bit like a journal.
is.
It's a bit like a record of what you're
Yeah,
doing.
I journal as well every day. Yeah.
Right.
I don't post it
Yeah.
anywhere, but similar to Melissa's, every day I write and
Yeah.
draw something about my life. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think the more that you can kind of make it easier for yourself by creating a template that you can duplicate, right? Like if like
Yep.
for all of these posts and things like that, so that you don't have to start from scratch every time, because that is a lot, right? So if you can just kind of make something once, like your booklet here, right? And then you can kind of keep reusing it and just filling it out with the new updated information.
Yeah. I have that.
Same like if you're going to do videos and stuff like that, right? Like you don't need to, I mean, you just start a new file or whatever, but you can have like your font saved that you want to use for it. And you can have like your different like headers and titles and things so that you don't have to do it new every time. So
Yeah.
make it easy.
Yes, I need to make things easier for myself. I have a tendency to go completely complicated with everything. Does anyone
But
else?
they're very beautiful, Sam, though. They're very beautiful, though.
Time consuming. Any other like strategies to help with discipline to help us actually do things? Anyone else got anything different that we haven't spoken about already?
I always have my stuff set up, always have a table ready to go. I don't have to open my paints. I don't have to open a book. I always have clean water beside. I make sure there's at least one of the waters is clean. Some of them are dirty, to be honest. But I always have paints and pens and a book and a chair, and I'm ready to go. So I can just sit down. I haven't. For me, if I've got to get stuff out and set it up, and for many years, this was all on the dining table. And we just pushed it out of the way for me when we ate, and it was fine. I mean, it's good to make the most of all of the spaces you've got, I reckon. So having something always work up available for me to sit down and paint, draw, write helps me to keep on track. Yeah,
definitely, because then you can snatch 10 minutes here and there. That's true. But I'm a bit of a I've got a room. I'm in a room and everything, but I'm a bit of an out of sight, out of mind person. So I sort of need to have it out on the kitchen
That was the
table.
advantage of the table. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
like that.
I don't want to get distracted or read a book instead for 3 hours and then think, oh, all that time's gone by again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe not 3.
mindset. Does anyone have any particular quotes or a positive affirmation that they can share that might be helpful for other people? Help.
Start where you are. Use what you've got.
Yeah.
Just
I
start.
love it. Yes. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Writing those
Yeah.
down.
I thought I made that up. Obviously not.
I really love use what you've got.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I had this, I actually think one of the things about materials is thinking, as a teacher, I spent years imagining that there would be some golden tool, some perfect book that would make me the perfect teacher. And I realized after all that it's actually planning and preparing and, just doing the things and, using my own resources that I built up as a teacher. And I think for me, maintaining an art practice is very, very much about not setting impossible goals for myself, not thinking, well, if it isn't good enough, I'm not going to do it. Just do it. Yeah.
That's important. Yeah.
Yeah. There was one I thought of. It's on my on the membership thing that I'm in, and I think it's a Sylvia Plath quote, and I think and it goes. I don't know who she is, but I've seen her name a lot. Self-doubt is the biggest enemy of creativity, or something.
I've heard that. Yeah, good one.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
Again, that's good. It connects in with the just do it sort of attitude. Just get in and do it. Don't you think too much? Your sort of negative thinking in the back of you. Oh, this is going to be no good. I didn't work last time. Whatever. All that.
Yeah.
Just say. Actually, I heard someone say. I guess it's the imposter syndrome. Acknowledge that person is like sitting there beside you, Mr. Self-Doubt or Mrs. Self-Doubt, whatever you want to call them, and say, but like I heard you, but I'm just not going to listen to you now. Just see you later. You can come back later when I'm finished. But now I'm painting, so go away. Or something, yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Acknowledge that they exist. Yeah.
I've heard that people actually give that a name, right? Like a physical, like Sylvia or something like that, right? So they actually name the self-doubt, and then you can talk to them like they're a real person, and then you kind of okay.
Does everybody follow
we don't need to
Austin
right now,
Kleon's
Sylvia.
Substack?
Who, sorry?
Austin Kleon. He is the man who wrote Steal Like an Artist and Keep Going.
Yeah.
His Substack, for me, he's a writer, really. A writer, but he also is a journaler, collage maker. But he's a writer, essentially, an illustrating writer. But the way he thinks, and he has a weekly newsletter, and he has 10 things that interested him that week. And one's a music one, one's a writing one. He's big into music. I mean, I don't particularly listen to a lot of contemporary music or anything, but the way he thinks, and he also is a huge reader and often posts things that inspire me as an artist and as a thinker. I actually think his newsletter is absolutely worth getting. And within his 10 things each week that interest him, he'll have a link to what inspired him. And I've watched some fantastic short videos, read some things which inspired me. There are very few. I don't subscribe to lots of newsletters because I get actually mentally overwhelmed by an overloaded email inbox. But I have subscribed to Austin Kleon for years, and in fact, I would be a patron if you could be a patron in Substack with PayPal, but you can't. So I'm not putting my look, that's personal, but if you could, I certainly would, and I've actually told him that.
So I only get his freebie one, and I think you only get it every now and again. You don't get.
You get the freebie one every Friday. The newsletter comes out every Friday.
Right.
His newsletter comes out every Friday. It's fantastic. And everyone gets the same newsletter. If you subscribe, I think you get another one on Tuesday.
Right. I see.
If you pay, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put a little quote
Interesting.
here for mindset. It's maybe a little different. It's I follow this. I haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel, but I watch every single. He's a tarot card reader, and I watch every single one he does for Pisces. Chris from Minnow Pond Tarot, and he said in one of his things the other day, it just was so appropriate for me. He said, if you're not taking action, you're torturing yourself, because okay, it doesn't sound very positive, but actually I'm such an overthinker that I
Yeah.
actually need to do like just do
Yeah.
it. Stop thinking,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
Otherwise, I just like the self-doubt. Yes.
Yeah, you can just do stuff. I like it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You can
Stop
just do stuff.
thinking. Stop questioning, ruminating, self-doubt, all of that stuff. Just get in and do it. Yeah. So that's
Yes.
my thing. If you're not taking action, you're torturing yourself.
Yeah. There's
I
another thing I heard that was about motivation, saying that we always think, oh, I don't have any motivation, I don't have any motivation, I can't be bothered. But motivation becomes from action. So if you do
Yeah.
something, even if
Yeah.
it's just getting your sketchbook out and you've
Yeah.
got a background that you've already done, that again gives you the motivation. So
yeah.
I thought that was a really good thing, because everyone says, oh, I'm motivated, but you have to do something first, and that gives you a little bit of motivation. Then that makes you do a little bit more, and then you get more motivation, and then suddenly, oh, you're really into it, like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's not
that's doable.
mysterious
That's something we
external
can
pull.
control. It's not an emotional thing that we're not in control of,
Yeah.
Like if you think I'm waiting for the muse, I'm waiting for this magic feeling that's going to make me feel so creative, it probably will never happen, or it'll only happen when you're just about to go to sleep, or you're just got to walk out the door to go to the shops, and it's a bad time. But if it's connected to action, it's something you can control, and you can say, right, I've got a patch of time, I'm going to do this. I've got 10 minutes. I'm going to open my book and grab out 3 different colors I haven't used, and suddenly,
Yeah.
you're motivated then to keep going. So, and then it all builds. So,
This may seem like an off-topic question. Do you guys have a word for the year? Do you ever, how some people choose a word or a theme or whatever for the year?
I find the word thing
yeah,
hard, to
haven't.
be honest.
Yeah.
So do I usually, but momentum in terms of like motivation, everything that you were just saying, like for me, I want to maintain the momentum of just creating, and that's my word. My theme is land and sea, but my word is momentum for this year.
Momentum. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really had a word for a year before, but I quite like that one. Yeah.
I like the idea of it, but when they have those things where they have all these pictures whizzing past the words, and you've got to stop it on the right one, and that's your word for the year. Well,
Oh,
they never really grabbed me. So,
no.
yeah.
Do you have a word, Melissa?
If I had to pick one right now, it might be connection.
Nice. Yeah.
I think maybe growth, but I think connection is a little bit
Yeah.
more accurate feeling.
Yeah, nice.
Mm.
So I'm just aware of the time. We're still a fair bit we can talk about, but maybe what we could do is later, like maybe not today, but another time,
Yeah.
we'd meet together. Well, if we're going to meet regularly in the Discord, and it might end up being that we meet on Zoom and that's unrecorded, just to stay on track, help us like keep, talk about strategies. What are you going to do so we still have yet to go, what things are you going to cut out of your life? Like, things like scrolling mindless YouTube without a clear purpose, that sort of stuff. What barriers can you visualize happening, and what are some obstacles that you can think about to overcome them? So if this is going to happen, what could you do to help
That's a
overcome
good one,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, to prepare yourself there's quite a lot, so maybe we can talk about these sorts of things in either Discord, the studio lounge, or an unrecorded Zoom another time. Yeah, how do you guys feel about that? If you just look through the booklet, is there anything in particular that's of really importance that you want to share, or you want to talk about, or ask everyone else for advice or of anything?
I actually would love to, in the Discord or something, chat about it more. I think, I didn't fill in more of the book because I didn't want to do it in a hurry. I wanted to think about it, like, and to make it like something I think it's a terrific little book, and I want it to be something I can refer to through the year.
Yeah.
So I'd love to. I intend to spend more time filling it in, and come back to it, and come back as a group and talk about it. It would be great, even if it's not like just casual or just posting in Discord.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I think
So even like a 3 monthly thing, or like not, maybe I couldn't sort of, I don't know. I mean,
well, in the Discord, I've said that we're going to do a meetup once a month. So weekly, just put in a couple of sentences. What were your wins? One thing, I journaled for 20 minutes this week. Awesome, win. Perfect. That's, whatever you've done, or you may have whatever you've done, like, well, whatever you want to share. It doesn't have to be everything. Just like, what's the main thing that you've done this week that's a positive thing that helps, that's going to get towards your goal. It just takes one sentence, takes 10 minutes on a Sunday. So I'll probably do it I'll probably do mine on a Sunday. And then once a month, and I think I'm going to keep it to the Saturday because it seems a fairly achievable time. And to do an unrecorded meetup, like either this on Zoom or just to check in. So that's already happening once a month. And if you can come, if you can, and if you don't, it's okay. Yeah.
Great.
I think that's good. I think that'll help, like, with accountability a little bit too.
Yeah.
Right. And then also, like, you guys have such good ideas too, right? So, like, getting feedback and kind of a little bit of help, I think, will be really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
It's good it's like the brains trust, isn't it? Like you always
definitely.
there's other people there to even just to see different points of view that you can't possibly. Wow, I never would have seen it like that, but that changes everything. Like
Yeah. It's helpful.
I'm thinking we might leave today's meeting here. I did no drawing or painting whatsoever. I wasn't really expecting to, because I did want to focus on this. So it's a bit of a different kind of art club today. But that's okay. It's the start of the year, and
it's important, isn't it?
I think so.
Great.
I do think so.
Really good.
So this will go public, this one, but all the other ones we do in the future will be just private. So just between us or whoever else wants to join us. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Is there
Thank you, Sam. That's been really good. Yeah.
I've got a little share.
Yes, please. Would you like me to spotlight you?
Yeah, why not?
Cool.
Well, I bought these before Christmas. I bought these cute little frames.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
In cellophane, and I wanted to make something for my sister in Perth. Now, I might not send these pictures, but I've been with a view to sort of, I wanted to trust my imagination, just do things that come out of my head. This is what it looks like in the package, and I've put the little picture in there.
Oh, wow.
And I might not leave these in there. I might do something again, but aren't they cute?
They are cute.
And you can stand them up. They've got a thing on the back to stand them up. And one of my goals for this year is actually, my sister in Perth is quite depressed, is to write to her once a week. And so I'm sending these to her with her first letter. And
Love that.
I might leave these things in. It doesn't really matter. She won't care. The fact that I have made them for her will be enough. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing while I've been sitting here.
Very
good.
Good on you. Did you paint anything while we're talking, Melissa, or we were mostly just talking? Or did you?
I was just writing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
Did you get to Shah's goal setting Zoom that she had today? Oh,
No, I didn't.
I wanted to go to that, but it was at 5 o'clock in the morning, which normally I can do, but I thought, maybe I won't do that today because just walking Cedar and stuff.
Because you have this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I will join Patreon again and then just go and watch the replay of that one, I think, because nice to paint.
Yeah. I think her Substack is a little cheaper than Patreon, but I'm not sure you get like all of the Zoom sessions that she does. So.
Okay, yeah.
But I think she's planning on just merging them so she only has Substack, but that's a lot of work to move everything over. So
yeah, I don't know if I would. Anyway, that's another conversation. I think sometimes it's good to not have everything just in one. Not all have all your eggs in one basket.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for downloading the booklet and having a good think about things. And I'm really looking forward to accountability buddies and seeing how we all go with our goals, tracking everyone's progress and following all your progress and just seeing, helping each other to.
Thank you, Sammy. It's been great. And thank you, Melissa and Simone. It's really lovely to see you again.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
You
I missed
too.
you all. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while. All right.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, we could always go into the studio lounge now if anyone wanted to. Otherwise,
I've got to go.
Yeah, I think I might get on with it.
Do some painting.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be good. That's a great idea. Yes.
Yes. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much, everybody. And
Take care. Thanks again.
Have a great weekend.
Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Happy New Year. That's right. That's right. Yes.
Feels like that's so long ago.
So somebody at work started calling it 2020 Thrive instead of 2025. 2020 Thrive. And I thought that's not a bad little idea, is it?
I like that. I really like that. Here's to thriving.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Bye,
Take care.
everyone.
Bye.
See ya. Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.